Hi guys, welcome back. We have finally made the top 8. In the booth is Sinan, myself, Yasid, and Akil. Akil just got knocked out of the tournament.
Yes, playing in. Thank you for pointing it out.
Akil, what happened in that last game?
I was playing Tron today, unfortunately for myself, and my opponent ghost quoted my lands.
Okay. So we're going to our first feature match. Pieter is the top seed and Josh Barlow is 8th. Pieter's on the play. Pieter has mulliganed.
Pieter's on Grieks's Death Shadow.
Yes.
Played a tough game against Jeskai Control, and now he's going through Jeskai Control again.
So we see Pieter shocking. He's going down to 18.
How does Josh Barlow's deck list differ from?
No, Josh isn't on Jeskai, he's playing Storm.
Is he playing Storm?
Yes.
Okay.
Was at the table next to me in the last round. Played against Tahir.
Yeah, so usually Josh is game plan get a 2-mana creature that reduces the cost of spells by 1, and then hopefully have a gives and given to put in some pieces that will eventually win him the game on the same turn. So basically he's just trying to ramp up with some red mana.
So on Peter's side, as maybe saw before, he had a blood chip that is played quite suiting. It's a pretty unusual choice for Death Shadow, Sinan. What's your opinion on since you watched the last match?
Unfortunately I wasn't in the booth.
Faithless Looting wasn't actually played that much in the last game, but I'm not sure what's the purpose. More cards to delve, I guess.
I think it's basically a finish card in Peter's list. Normal decks don't play it. Maybe he feels like he doesn't have enough card draw or card filtering.
I actually saw quite a spicy list playing Death Shadow and Faithless Looting, and happened to be playing a new card from Standard, Arclight Phoenix.
Yes.
The All-Star.
So I was maybe considering he's possibly playing Arclight in his deck. I don't see him.
No, there's no Arclight.
You referred into the Grixis Arclight
Yes,
deck.
it is also a Death Shadow deck, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. He's gone quite all in on the delve card, so that's my theory behind Faithless Looting.
So I think we have a turn to Tessiger.
Not sure if it's Tessiger or Gurmag. A lot of glare on that card.
It is a Tessiger.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important in this match because it also enables him to have
early threat.
Like the early threat's early clock, and also because it's 4 power, Summon now becomes a hard counter.
Yeah. And we saw in the last game, Stubborn Denial is a very powerful card in the Grixis Death Shadow deck.
So I think Josh is having issues with land. Because I'm sure a turn to... Or he's looking for a creature, because usually the best play in Storm is a turn to Vidal or Goblin Electromancer.
Would you run Vidal or Electromancer in Death Shadow? They do traditionally play Fatal Push.
That's a fair option, but there's very little counter magic in Josh's main board, usually. So I think generally Storm is all in deck game 1, and then
basically eat and
up, and then game 2 play a safer game.
So the Storm deck, Sinan, how does it actually win the game?
So you want to turn generally on a turn 3. If you have a dork, basically a dude to reduce the mana.
That would be Baral or the
Electromancer.
Yeah.
You play multiple ritual effects, so Pathetic Ritual or Desperate Ritual. They cost 2 mana usually, but with a dork, it's only 1 mana. So 1 mana produces 3. You net mana, and then using a blue, you cast Gifts and Given with 3 mana. We usually just search for another Pathetic Ritual a Desperate Ritual, Metamorphose, and a Passing Flames. With those either of those 4 cards, you should be able to decast them, eventually casting Passing Flames, and which gives you access to your graveyard. Gives you access to Gifts Ungiven, which allows you to fetch the Grape Shot.
Okay. And the Grape Shot will be dealing lethal damage.
Generally, yes. So basically, to TLDR what Sinan just said, if your opponent has a 2-mana creature in Storm, they untap with 3 mana and then cast a ritual into a gift
Okay.
giving, and as long as they have 3 mana after that gift dissolves, they are generally going to win that.
Okay.
So-
Was that the TLDR?
So, Pieter is, I think, thought he's in, or IOK in, Josh. You can see he has the creatures, he has 1 ritual effect. So, he's looking for a payoff in Gifts Ungiven.
Why did you go for this if you're Peter?
Um,
I mean, you don't want to
Probably-
take one of the creatures.
so,
It's redundant.
Josh is one of the strong cards, one of the stronger one-offs in the deck, the Innoxious Revival. It allows him to return any permanent or any card in his graveyard and put on top of his library.
Okay.
I would generally either take just the Noxious Revival, or maybe just the Ritual effect, because it does force him to pay to life, go down, extra 2 points of damage.
Okay. Was that a Death Shadow that just came down?
Yes. So 3, 4, 5. I think we need a life total update because
Because the third C is a pitch shock.
But
Peter
Josh is on
8.
15, Peter is on 8. So that's currently a 5/5 Death Shadow and a Tasker. So Peter's looking in some good shape here. But Josh could potentially go off this turn. Is it possible?
He's already tapped one of his mana this turn. It's going to be extremely hard for him to, actually impossible, because we did see
yes, he needs to top take a Gifts Ungiven in the next turn, or get one off the sleight of hand.
He also has to keep in mind that he's potentially turn opponent has team back.
Yes.
Okay, so things aren't looking too good for Josh at the moment.
Also, his lands. So the version Josh is playing, I believe, has no Scalding Thorns, no features, and he's taking quite a bit of damage from this.
Shivan Leaf.
Shivan Leaf.
keeps them. I generally believe the versions that don't play the fetches tend to not play Blood Moon in the sideboard. As you can see, Josh is actually not playing Blood Moon.
Okay.
Faithless Looting is it's a unique card. The regional builds of Death Shadow, the Jund versions, were playing Faithless Looting because they didn't have,
Access to Thought Scour.
yes, draw effects. But I don't think,
I believe he's playing it in place of Serum Vision.
yes, there's no Serum Visions in Peter's list.
I think it's an interesting choice. I would have given him more points if he was playing Arclight Phoenix.
There's 2 Faithless Lootings in his deck list. He plays the Gurmags, 3 Gurmags, and just trying to see how many 2 Tassigers. So he has 5 Delve effects.
Towards the end of last modern season, basically, Death Shadow was prepared. Okay, like 2 modern seasons ago, Shadow was very prepared, and we actually saw a lot of the decks move away from Tasker entirely and just play the full set of Omega. What is your take on Peter playing the split between 2 and 2?
I like the split. It's easy to cost a turn 2 Tassiger on the play. Gurmag Angler, you need an extra delve card
Yeah, that's
for extra point of power. And generally a 4-5 is good enough in most games.
Okay, so Josh still kind of trying to go off here. Doesn't seem like anything's going to be happening this turn.
I actually on a much lower life total.
I think he blocked last turn, the Death Shadow.
How sure do you play a extra?
Yeah.
They just beat.
I mean, you could block the Death Shadow again and buy himself another turn.
I actually see Pieter is actually opting to play Lightning Bolt instead of Fatal Push.
Yeah, he's running a 1-off Fatal Push.
Last time Pieter in game 1 ended up lightning bolting himself
Yeah.
to grow his Death Shadow out of Shaquille's lightning bolt.
Yeah, we enjoyed that play.
Okay, so we have a gift and given here. I don't know if there's any mana floating.
I'm also unsure as to
Or whether Josh is just trying to go for a win next turn.
I'd assume there isn't because a lot of the Storm players they do represent the mana floating types
Does.
on either basic lands or different color types.
Oh, let's see what happens. Oh, Josh is still deciding which 4 cards.
What do you think you would go for in this case?
I think he's just going for the Desperate Pathetic, Manamorphose, and
So the usual
Passing
suspects.
Flames.
Yeah.
And if you're Pieter, what do you give? Does it actually
Well,
matter?
if depending on how much mana Josh has, if he has 1 mana, it doesn't really matter. You can go off with just the rituals into Passing Flames.
Well, the problem with him, if he only has one mana for actually for the cost of passing.
Yes, so but then you give him next turn. So if you assume he's going to live till the next turn, you'd rather give him a Passing Flames and a Manamorphose, in my opinion.
It is a stage. Okay, no, let's not say stage. That is probably the first time I've seen the split where he got a ritual plus a positive flame. In general, okay, that is
Okay.
just the dismember, which is needed.
Okay, so we're gonna go to game 2.
But as I was saying, in general, your split is either the 2 rituals or a Manamorphose plus a positive.
So let's see what the sideboards are looking at. Does the game get worse for Storm in game 2? Or
So I know Pieter plays quite a bit of graveyard hand 8, which is probably Storm's biggest weakness. So you use, in my opinion, Pieter's bringing in Liliana the Veil. What graveyard 8 does he have? Probably brings in Collective Brutalities.
Craftica's Cage?
Craftica's Cage is good. Liliana the Veil. Maybe the extra stubborn and now and the 2 surgical extractions.
I think surgical's a must.
A lot of the lists now play the Black Leyline.
Legend of the Void.
Leyline of the Void. I don't see Pieter running any.
Legend of the Void is actually a pretty uncommon card in our meta. A lot of the time, there's not a big amount of graveyard decks, and the ones that are there are generally combo decks. So surgical does work that spot.
What do you think about Disdainful Stroke? Is it worth bringing in?
So Josh's plays are generally less than 4 mana unless it's the payoffs in I'm sorry, I've just got that in blank here. Gives and Given and
Fasting.
Passing Flames.
I think if his game plan is to just counter those two cards, that's probably worth siding in. But I think Death Shadow should be favored enough because of the amount of pressure you put on early, and also the
That you
fact
wouldn't
that
need to.
Stubborn now is just a one man on exactly
Yeah,
the same card.
that's
Basically.
true.
I think Josh is going in to bring anything in the ice. It's just an alternate win con. And it's a different strategy.
I feel like thing in the ice against delve cards could be a good thing. Bouncing it back to the hand and then
Also,
they might
did
live.
they double entendre and something nice. So let's look at Josh's cyber. While this was cybering, Empty the Wardens has traditionally been a pretty normal side in for Storm against Death
Yes.
Shadow, and Pieces of the Puzzle is generally a card you want to side in against decks with lots of hand disruption. Unfortunately, it's not a card you want to side in against decks with counter magic. So I can see that not making the cut here.
Also, one thing to take into account, both players don't have each other's deck lists. So Josh usually Grixis runs Pyroclasms or some sort of mass removal. In this case, Pieter doesn't, so Empty the Wardens will probably be a good choice if you can get a decent sized one.
Let's take a look at the hands.
I think Pieter's got both this looting and some lands, so he's probably keeping
Josh appears to only have
a
a
mountain.
mountain and an island.
But it should be fine. He has a couple of ops. There's
Yeah,
a
I think
Passing
a
Flames.
two-lander is enough on a lot of, but I don't really see much in terms of disruption on Peter's side. Causing just the fact that unfortunately the glare is not helping us
Yeah.
discern what cards.
If Peter has thoughts, he's okay. So Josh is mulliganing. He didn't have a creature, so probably thought he needs a more active hand. Play spells.
Is it possible for the Storm deck to go off without the play of creatures, the Electromancer or
Usually you can't get a storm kill, but you can get a decent enough Empty the Wardens. So Empty the Wardens basically gives you 2 goblins for each copy.
Oh no, it just got worse. I feel like he only had one red.
Yes. So without the storm of creatures, you can go ritual into ritual into ritual. They only net you 1 mana, but they eventually give you 4 mana,
Okay.
which is enough to cast Empty the Wardens. But it doesn't allow you to keep cycling through your deck, because you will eventually run out of mana.
So Josh is gonna go down to 5.
Yes.
You may be getting desperate after that.
Yeah.
So Peter, if he has thoughts, it's gonna be
Oh.
pivotal.
Did he even get a good look at that hand before he like
Well, he
decided
has
to keep
land
it?
and multiple cantrips
Okay.
alongside a grave.
Peter is one of the win cons
It's an 18.
in Battle Rage. Just needs a creature to go with it, which could make it a quick game.
Okay.
And even though we haven't really discussed who has made the top 8 so far, I can guarantee you it's going to be battle of the combo decks
Yeah,
for the
so
most part.
we know Hamza's made it. It is. Hamza's on Titan, Amulet Titan. Aries is on KCI. Sean Capes made it with,
Jessica Control.
That's probably the fairest deck there.
and then I think Gavin
Gavin
on
made it on
Burn.
Rewrite Burn. Another match I compared against, fortunately, I'm able to Or at a turn 2, 5, 6 Stormagor if not good.
Would you consider Grixis Death Shadow as a combo deck?
It is a pseudo combo deck. The same way that Affinity is also a combo aggro deck,
Okay.
and Infect is a combo aggro deck. This is a deck that traditionally relies pretty much on Team of Battle Rage to win half of their games. The other half they end up just putting pressure earlier and summoning an opponent key times. It plays a bit more than like a Delver deck than a combo deck, but I would consider it a partial combo deck.
Yeah. I was just thinking, it takes multiple turns and it seems like a fair deck.
Another interesting card that Josh has actually in the main board is Repeal here. Because Repeal is actually pretty good against Death Shadow. It's 2 mana to a card bounce deck.
So Josh looks like he's stuck on one land here.
Yes, I think that was the main reason why I bought in the Mana Moonfos, which is usually one of the better cards in the deck. Because it's a free cycle.
It does appear as if it's going to this turn. This is only turn 2, so it's not the end of
15 Pieter is fetching. Probably down to 12 and then just playing in Death Shadow.
Does Josh have one of the play of creatures in his hand? He has a Baral in his hand.
I think, yes, with the cards
So,
to try and win it, he just needs to get running land.
yeah. Okay, so we have Faithless Looting.
We see Pieter do Thoughtseize with a Faithless Looting.
Death Shadow comes down as a 1/1. So, do you think he should have thought he's there, or Death Shadow was the good play?
I think he just wants to get the Shadow down.
Okay.
And put as much pressure as possible. Josh has managed to top take empty the Wardens here. Might. Well, he missed the land drop again, unfortunately. Oh, okay, no, he
So if
but
there's some
the
rituals,
Wardens is going to be the way he comes back. If he
I think he actually top takes a Braid. Empty the Wardens. Let's try the other angle.
yeah, it's empty the Wardens to peel. Echoing Truth and Vidal.
So, what is the text on Empty the Wardens?
He puts 2 1/1s into play for each counter storm,
Okay.
basically.
Just an alternate win con to Grape Shot.
It's just been a traditional sort of alternate win con you side in when your opponent's expecting themselves to get burnt out. Just go early empty the Wardens and then put pressure on them.
Okay.
I think in general Death Shadow probably somewhat favored.
So Pieter's hitting for 4.
Isn't it only 3?
I think it's
Oh,
3.
sorry, 3.
And he has still scarred himself. Is there a possible way that Josh wins from this point?
So we needed to top deck a creature or a land there, and then if he top decked the land this turn, they didn't play it. So if he top decked the creature this turn, you would have to draw a land next turn to have the possibility of going off.
Do you think Pieter might accidentally go too low and Josh just ends up casting a lethal grave shot.
A small one, but it's possible. But because Pieter has mere battle rage, he doesn't have to go too low to kill Josh.
The reason I brought it up is because it does appear that Josh has stopped the grave shot for that previous turn. And Josh not to attack. Oh no, he cast.
Also, don't believe Josh has many digital effects. I think the only red cards in his hands Empty the Wardens and Grave Shot.
Seems to be
so
dirtling.
So he's cried the land to the top. Played the second set of vision to draw the land, and now he is trying to fix his throws again.
Oh, scrying both to the bottom.
So the Storm deck only really wants 3 mana. Then it starts looking for digital effects.
Okay.
Luckily enough, Josh's life total is quite high.
So a thing that Josh could end up doing, I don't know if the is ritual in the game or Josh had one in his opening hand, is because he top decked that Noxious Revival, he can easily revival back the ritual to put it on top of his extra count of Storm.
Okay.
We gave you guys the top 8 earlier, but we only mentioned 6 players. The other 2 players are Navarre Wilson and Camden Kent. Navarre is on
Bogles,
who played earlier on one of the feature matches, and Camden Kent on the Jeskai variant.
Okay, so we have 2 Jeskai control decks in the top 8.
The only non-combo deck.
Yeah, so there's 2
Bogles
Jeskai.
also under that pseudo combo aggro.
Yeah.
I think Pieter is just taking his time.
Yeah, if I'm Pieter, I'm feeling quite comfortable at the moment.
He might be able to go for lethal this turn if he has. No battle rage.
And he scoops it up. Wow.
So Pieter is.
We may have had Peter's life settled wrong there. Or at least Josh's life. That didn't look like 17 if the shadow was only a 3-3.
Yes.
13 at that point.
So if it was a shockland this turn, it becomes 5, 10, 14.
So we may have missed an attack against shockland. Which is exactly -1.
Yeah, so Pieter goes through to the semi-finals.
It's just the shadow looking quite strong against that Storm deck. I guess the hand disruption was just too much.
I think the hand disruption is very good, and mainly Josh went down to 5 cards. I saw they brought in a lightning bolt and 1 Empty the Wardens.
Lightning? Would you side in lightning bolt against Death Shadow?
I'm planning to.
Okay. I mean, I guess it would have worked against that.
Bottled, like I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna bolt them, and then at some point I bolted and bolted one of the creatures.
I don't think they ever play a Death Shadow, which is 2 power, 2 toughness, and not have some way to go it out of lightning bolt range.
Yeah, the blowout was against Shaquille when he actually bolted himself to grow the Death Shadow. So I don't know if bolt is such a great card in the sideboard.
Well,
the thing is, you can always just bolt your Death Shadow.
Yeah.
So guys, we'll see you next round for the semi-finals. Cheers.
Cheers.